Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 5 de A Epifania de Blackwell. Até dentro da mente de Rosa, onde ela faz a passagem dos espíritos, conseguiram explodir o fantasma de Lia. Tudo cada vez mais incompreensível. Mas ao menos já vimos como a Condessa livrou-se do espírito guia e a morte de Joey. Dentre muitas outras coisas, falta saber como Joey virou o guia das mulheres da família Blackwell. Na Escola da Graça, do lado da igreja, é onde está escondido aquele padre.
No need to pay attention to that. There aren't any cars out tonight.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul.
I think he's reciting the Psalm of David. From the books I've read, it's supposed to guard against evil.
The valley of the shadow of death.
Michael Cooper.
You! Stay back, bestower. I've got a gun.
Just a second.
I said stay back!
Não vim fazer-lhe mal. Eu tenho que falar com você. Eu vim ajudar.
Whoa, calm down. I'm not here to hurt you.
Oh yeah? Tell that to Leah and George and the others.
Que outros?
Others? How many of you are there?
You don't even know that. You don't know a thing, do you? This wasn't the plan.
Plan?
Yes, our brilliant plan. We get the bestower to escort our souls to the next world, protect us from this force that is after us. Instead, you let us be destroyed.
Você crê que eu queria que isso acontecesse? Eu tentei, francamente tentei. Vou te deter.
You think I wanted this to happen? People dying, souls torn apart? You think I want this?
Of course not. It's just... well, look at what we've been reduced to.
I'm sorry. Whatever is going on, it's new. I've never seen anything like it before.
I see. And what about him?
Huh?
Your friend. The man behind you. He hasn't said a word since you walked in here.
Me? Do you mean me?
Yes, you. Don't look so surprised. How else could I have known who you were? Now get out of here. You've been nothing but trouble ever since George went to look for you.
Não dispare, eu irei. Adiante, dispare. Duvido que você queira fazer isso. As armas me põem muito enferma.
You really don't want to do this.
I believe she is right, my host.
That voice. It can't be.
I told you to stay in the other room.
Yes, my host, I know. But I had to intervene. These two know me. If I may...
Fine. Just make it quick. I'm losing concentration.
Malone, Blackwell, what a pleasant surprise to see you both again.
Yeah, surprise is the word. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it not obvious? You freed me, Malone, brought me back into this world, and as befits all of our kind, I had a host waiting for me, and so I have returned to my former duties.
Look, as much as I am touched by this reunion, I need to focus.
Perhaps we should all converse outside.
Fine, outside. Just leave me in peace.
Thank you, my host.
Você é Albacea também? Era Madeline, ou não dizer nada.
You're a bestower too?
What gave it away? The spirit guide who won't leave me alone? Look, maintaining this circle leaves me a bit cranky. Sorry. If you can help, great. If not, well, I've made my peace with it. Just go talk to her. She's outside. I need to concentrate. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemy.
Madeline. She's been a spirit guide for, well, ever. I'm sure she's got a lot to teach us. Once this is all over, anyway.
Madeline. The last time we met, she helped me out of the void. I suppose I owe her one.
Blackwell? Malone? It's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
Onde você esteve?
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
Por que esses fantasmas estão sendo atacados?
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Por que George nos procurava?
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
O que podemos fazer então?
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
Chame-me Rosângela?
You should really call me Rosangela.
Forgive me. When you are as old as I am, all the names blur together. So I tend to address those I speak to by their family name. It is just easier that way, and less painful. I'm afraid it is a habit that is difficult to break.
Como você vai?
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had thought, I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Malone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Olhar as notas. Grupo da Graça.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
Do you know a place called the Carth House?
I'm afraid I do not.
Michael Cooper.
What can you tell me about Father Michael?
Cooper is my host. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Is he always this ornery?
Do have some pity for him. He has lost his uncle, his sister, and several of his friends. He has been forced to accept the spirit world and the possible loss of his own soul, all within the span of a few weeks. If anyone deserves some understanding, it is he.
O fantasma do telhado. Você conhece?
There's a ghost haunting the empty apartment across from George Austin.
I see. Well, you know your duty. Go and save it.
Ah, muito obrigadinha, dona moça. Apareça sempre. Como você sabe que Michael te achou sem mais nem menos?
Why do you let Father Michael push you around like that?
It is what my host wishes.
So?
Simply that. I must do what my host commands.
Ah, right, seriously. What's the story?
No story, Malone. If my host wishes me to leave him alone, I leave him alone.
That actually works?
Of course. It is my duty to do so.
So, Joey, could...
No.
Of course, some of us take our duties more seriously than others.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Hey, Maddie?
Yes, Malone.
So you don't know anything else about this Grace group?
I'm afraid not. You know as much as I.
You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
I'm afraid I do not.
Can you tell me anything else about Michael?
Sadly, no. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
There's a ghost haunting the empty apartment across from George Austin.
I see. Well, you know your duty. Go and save it.
A senhora não ajudou nada, nem com o Michael, nem com outro fantasma.
Right. We're gonna take off, plan our next move.
Of course.
I got something to say.
Uh-huh. What's up?
This place was around even in my day. You ever go here?
No, it's one of the more expensive private schools in the city. Not really an option for a foster kid like me.
Right. Huh. Michael's gotten himself shackled to Madeline, poor guy.
Why do you say that?
Remember her last host? The Countess? The mass-murdering crazy lady?
I remember, but Michael won't turn out the same way.
Easy enough to say, but keep your eye on both of them, just in case. Michael looks scared out of his mind. Guess I can't blame him, considering. Let's keep talking to him.
Joey?
Yeah?
I always used to wonder what it would be like to go to this school. Never thought it would take this. I still can't get over that I've met another, person like me.
Yeah, and he's right in the thick of all our problems.
He didn't ask for this, Joey. None of us did. Michael has got to know more than he's telling us.
Maybe we should keep talking to him. He's bound to spill something.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me...
Father Michael?
Yeah?
Não posso crer que exista outro médium em Nova York.
I can't believe there's another medium in New York.
Medium?
Sorry, I mean bestower. I've been calling myself medium for so long I sometimes forget.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not like I have anyone to talk to about this stuff. Nobody living, anyway.
Hey, look, I'd love to swap ghost stories with you, but it takes all my concentration to maintain the circle.
Right, sorry. Maybe we'll have coffee later? After we save your soul and everything.
Sure, sounds great.
E por que esse círculo?
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
Como você se inteirou do que estava acontecendo?
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group, and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
Madeleine.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
E por que não larga, Madeleine?
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
Grupo da Graça.
Could you tell me about the Grace Group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense.
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing. And and I was right.
Cards fire.
There are tons of case files listed here. I'm not going to ask about them one by one.
Michael Cooper, você mesmo.
What about yourself? Is there anything we should know?
Look, you're not exactly catching me at my best here. I can't do anything. I'm not a true bestower like you are. Madeline says she's been weakened, or I've been weakened, or something. She doesn't know. Believe me, if I could do what you can do, I'd be out there trying to stop this. But I can't. So all I can do is hide.
Fantasma do telhado.
Did you know that there's a ghost across the roof from George's apartment?
Really?
Do you know anything about it?
Sadly, no. I'm sorry.
Ninguém sabe nada, vai ficar no mistério. O que ocorreu nas reuniões do grupo da Graça?
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down, and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man. Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro.
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
Quem eram os membros do grupo?
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
Heather Goster. Finalmente temos um nome, Heather Goster. Jeffrey Dutta. Benjiro. Michael Cooper nos contou que um japonês chamado Benjiro dirigia as reuniões do Grupo da Graça. Jeffrey Dutta. Segundo o padre Michael, Jeffrey ia às reuniões do Grupo da Graça. Não se sabe sobre ele, mas Michael diz que ele está morto. Peter Fielding. Segundo o padre Michael, Peter ia às reuniões do Grupo da Graça. Não se sabe nada sobre ele, mas Michael diz que está morto. Heather Goldstein. Segundo o padre Michael, Heather ia às reuniões do Grupo da Graça. Não se sabe nada sobre ela, mas Michael diz que está morta.
So the man who ran the Grace Group meetings was named Benjiro.
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
Jeffrey.
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
God, Jeffrey Dutta. Talk about transfiguration. When he walked into that Grace Group meeting, I thought he was in the wrong place. I mean, the guy was a Wall Street broker, for crying out loud. He could have bought the church and everything in it. But he later confessed that he tried to kill himself. Twice.
So what happened to him?
He became a professional dog walker. Can you believe it? He used to pocket millions a year, plus bonuses. Then he was picking up dog crap for $25 an hour and smiling about it. He was hit by a car crossing the street. A hit and run. I was at his bedside when he died. Madeline had been around for about a month at that point, so I saw his spirit rise from his body. I thought I was supposed to help him, but instead You know what happened next.
Peter.
Could you tell me about Peter?
Peter Fielding, yes. I never had much contact with him. He died several months ago. I'm afraid it's too late for him.
You saw his soul being taken?
Well, no. He died before Madeline came into my life, so I can't say for sure. But he went to Grace Group meetings, and he's dead. What other conclusion can I reach?
Heather.
Tell me about Heather Goffstein. You said she was a member of your group.
Yes, she was one of us. I asked George if he knew where she was. He told me she was dead. I'm afraid it's too late for her.
Is this like Peter? Did you actually see her soul being taken?
No, I didn't. Thank heaven I didn't. Seeing it happen once is more than I can take.
A morte de Peter.
How exactly did Peter Fielding die?
Why? Are you going to try and find his spirit? There is no spirit. It's gone.
You said it yourself. You don't know for sure.
It was some kind of accident. I'm not sure of the details. I read about his death in the obituaries. Too late for his funeral, sadly, but I said a prayer for him.
Can you tell me again how Peter Fielding died?
I told you before, there's no point.
Just humor me.
It was some kind of accident. I'm not sure of the details. I read about his death in the obituaries. Too late for his funeral, sadly, but I said a prayer for him.
Ah, tem que pesquisar os obituários, então. E a morte de Heather?
How did Heather Goffstein die?
I'm afraid I don't know. George was the one who kept in touch with her. He told me she died, but he didn't tell me how or when. I suppose it doesn't matter anymore.
Conferir as notas de novo? Não, né? Tem novidade.
All right, Michael. We're going to go.
Of course. Godspeed to the both of you. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
He's
for thou
praying
art
like
with
his
me.
life depends on it.
Thy rod
I suppose
and
from
thy
his point of
staff,
view
they
it does.
comfort me. In green pastures, he leads me beside the still waters.
Madeline?
Yes, Blackwell.
Benjiro,
Michael said that a man named Benjiro ran the Grace Group meetings.
My host has said as much to me, yes. Sadly, he does not remember much about him.
Jeffrey Dutta,
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
I'm afraid not.
Peter Field,
Do you know anything about Peter Fielding? He was in the Grace Group with Michael.
I have never met him. He passed away before I became bonded with my host.
Michael believes his soul was already taken.
He might be right, but he may not be. If his spirit still exists, you are the ones to find it.
Heather,
Do you know anything about Heather Goffstein? She was in the Grace Group with Michael.
I know of her, but I have never met her. She passed away before my host and I became bonded. I never encountered her spirit.
Michael believes her soul was already taken.
It is certainly possible, but I refuse to lose hope until I see the evidence.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
os nomes deles com o arquivo CART?
If there's a connection, I don't see it.
Benjiro.
No connection that I can see.
Sem conexão. Peter.
There was a Maggie Fielding arrested at the Carth house. She might be a relative of Peter Fielding, but it's a common surname. I can't see any connection. I don't think those are connected in any way. So Peter Fielding owned a gym in Murray Hill. Worth a visit, I suppose.
Necrológio. Peter Fielding, de 58 anos, faleceu na noite passada ao sofrer um fatal acidente. Peter se descrevia a si mesmo como quincha da saúde e trabalhava de treinador pessoal nas suas instalações do Fields ginásio Fields. Era muito querido pela vizinhança de Murray Hill. Se vai sentir falta dele. Sem resultados. Sem resultados.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Benjiro.
I'm trying to find someone named Benjiro. He ran some kind of self-help circle called the Grace Group.
Let's see. No, nothing on file. Sorry.
Jeffrey Dutta.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Let's see. Yep, hit and run, like you said. Technically, the case is open, but nobody has any hopes that it'll be solved.
Peter Field.
Can you tell me anything about the death of a Mr. Peter Fielding?
Okay, let's see. Yep, here he is. Peter Fielding, age 54, owned a fitness center in Murray Hill called Field's Gym. He fell off a ladder while fixing a light bulb in the locker room, hit his head on the bench, and bled to death. Nobody found him for several hours. An ambulance was called and pronounced him dead at the scene.
Nothing more than that?
That's pretty open and shut. Accidental death.
Hector Goffstein.
Do you have any record of a Heather Goffstein?
Let me check.
Goffstein.
Nope, nothing on Heather Goffstein. Sorry.
Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Ginásio Field. Mas tem o símbolo da Curves aqui, como é que é? Acho que a Bach tem que fazer ginástica.
In my day, gyms were for sweaty weightlifter guys. These days, it's all toothpicks. It says members only.
Looks nice and warm in there. Of course, so would an ice factory right now. It says members only. It seems to open with a key card.
É, eu não tenho um cartão. Então, Joy.
A calendar with a marker pen attached. Looks like some kind of headshot photo. Probably someone famous who uses the gym. Let's see here.
Ah, a moça. Tanya Corsi. Bom dia.
Tanya Corsi. Hey, wait a second. Is that... Yeah, that's the spook from George's roof.
Tanya Corsi, finalmente uma pista.
Looks like that picture frame fell off the wall. TV showing some energetic broad in yoga pants. The men's locker room. Glad I can't smell anymore. Probably nobody in there with my luck. Hey, anyone in here? Anyone? Please? Well, that was disappointing.
Hino dos olhos.
Nobody here.
Hey, does it look right? Seriously, does it look right?
Does what look right?
The light bulb. I could swear it was blinking.
It looks fine to me.
Huh. Gotta do everything myself around here.
Looks to be in his 50s? It's hard to say. He's got the hair of an older man, but the body that most guys in their 20s would envy. He obviously worked out religiously, for all the good it did him. Just a forgotten towel. It's empty.
Não vai mais pra lá. Vamos conversar então.
Hey, friend, can we talk for a second?
Are you sure there's nothing wrong with that light?
I'm no expert, but it looks fine to me.
Well, what can I do for you?
Você é Peter Fielding?
Hey, is your name Peter Fielding by any chance?
That's me. Why?
No reason. You own this joint, right?
Yes, I do. My dad built it. You could say it's a family business. Been running it around 20 years? Seems like yesterday.
As luzes.
So what's the story with the lights?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. There's something wrong with them. I can tell.
Well, like I said, they look totally fine to me.
I'll just have to keep checking.
Bonito lugar.
Nice place you got here.
Thanks. You looking to join?
Nah, no, I really don't think exercise is gonna do me much good.
It's amazing how many people think that. You're young. Your metabolism is still going strong. The time catches up with you before you know it.
You're preaching to the choir, Peter, but I'm still not interested.
Well, we're here if you need us.
Como você se sente agora que está morto?
So, how are you feeling?
Fine, why?
You don't feel strange at all?
What do you mean?
Well, just hypothetically speaking, you don't feel like you're gonna explode?
What, like indigestion?
Not quite.
I am on a strict diet of wheatgrass shakes and fiber. Indigestion is the last thing I have to worry about.
O seu pai?
So, you run this place with your old man, huh?
Sort of. He built it when he left the army. I took over long ago.
As anotações. Grupo da Graça.
Ever hear of the Grace Group? I understand you went to a few meetings.
You know about that?
Sure.
Wow. Well, yeah. I went to some meetings. It was all I needed.
Why's that?
Well, I wasn't the most focused of people back then. It's a long story, but in the end I went to work with my dad running this place. It's been my life ever since.
Cart 5.
You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
No, sorry, I haven't been to the village in years.
Michael Cooper.
Hey, I think I met a friend of yours, Father Michael Cooper.
Michael? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while. How is he?
He's seen better days.
I'm sorry to hear that. He'll pull through. He always has.
Tanya Corsey. Achamos o fantasma de uma mulher no terraço do andar do George. Seu nome é Tanya Corsey. Parece que trabalhou na televisão. Vou perguntar.
I hear Tanya Corsey went to this gym.
She's been coming here for years. That body you see on TV, I take full credit for that.
Well, we all gotta be proud of something.
Benjiro.
Do you know anything about Benjiro? Ran the Grace Group meetings.
Sure.
Well?
Funny. I can't think of anything to say exactly. It's been 20 years.
Sure, people forget things.
That's it exactly. I just didn't think it would happen to me so soon.
Jeffrey Dutta.
Did you know Jeffrey Dutta?
You know Jeff too?
Not really, I just heard of him.
Good guy. Took care of my neighbor's dog when she was on vacation.
E você, Peter Fielding? Peter Fielding era membro do Grupo da Graça. Segundo o padre Michael, faleceu faz vários meses. Ele supõe que deram com a sua alma, como os demais, mas na realidade não viu o que aconteceu. Peter administrava um ginásio em Murray Hill.
So tell me about yourself, Peter.
I'm the guy who's gonna kick your butt into shape.
Ah, well, we'll see.
Heather Goffstein.
Do you know Heather Goffstein?
You know Heather too. Who don't you know?
Well, I'm a people person.
Wow, Heather. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Sim, e não vai falar dela?
Can you tell me anything about Heather?
It's been a while. And I didn't speak to her much back in those days anyway. Sorry.
Well, I'll see you around.
You got it. I'll be here. I just gotta see what's wrong with this damn light.
No point. He needs to be aware that he's dead before he can move on, and he's not there yet. So I found Peter.
Peter? Peter Fielding?
Yeah, he's safe and sound. Spiritually speaking, anyway.
Huh. Michael was sure that Peter's ghost was taken.
Just between you and me, Michael doesn't look to be sure about very much. Come here for a minute.
Yeah.
You want to get a few rounds in while we're here?
I'm not exactly dressed for the gym, Joey.
Excuses, excuses. For a dead guy, Peter's in pretty good shape. Let's make sure he stays that way. You ever watch this Tanya Corsey's show?
No, her show was on in the morning, and I'm more of a night person these days.
Don't know who this Heather lady is, but Michael's convinced she's a lost cause.
She could be, but he didn't actually see it happen. She might be alright.
Jeffrey Dutta. That's 3 spooks destroyed that we know of anyway. We need to put a stop to this before it becomes 4. The Deacon, Gavin, Charlie Meltzer, and now Benjiro. It always comes down to one guy, doesn't it? Let's find him so we can give him a piece of our mind. You take note of those names Michael gave us?
They're in my phone, if that's what you mean.
Sure, that's what I meant.
I have a question, Joey.
Yeah?
I can't remember the last time I went to a gym.
Thinking of joining?
With all the walking I do every day, I don't think I need to.
Tanya Corsi. How come we only meet famous people when they're dead?
Because they need us. That's why.
This Benjiro person. If he ran the Grace Group meetings, we have to find him.
One step at a time, sweetheart. We'll get to him. And when we do, give him a punch in the face for me.
Whoever Jeffrey Dutta was, it's probably too late to save him.
Can't worry about that now. Let's just put a stop to this before it happens to anybody else.
Peter seems okay.
For a spook, yeah. He's not going anywhere. Not yet, anyway.
Whoever Heather was, Michael seems pretty sure that she was, well, taken. Like Leah and George.
God, I hope not. I'm not sure how many more of these ripped-up spooks I can take.
Michael gave us a few names. We probably should look into them.
After you, dear. So, have you heard of this Tanya Corsi person?
Tanya Corsi? Was she in the gym?
No, it's the name of our roof spook. Is she famous or something?
You could say that. She has a TV show.
I think you mean she had a TV show. Let's get going.
Pesquisar a Tânia?
Tanya was the host of the Good Morning Show. I remember hearing that they got a new host, but I didn't know this was the reason. Channel 11. I think their head office is in Penn Plaza. Can't hurt to ask around.
Não para de surgir locais para investigar. Notas necrológicas. Com terrível pesar, anunciamos o falecimento de Tanya Corsi após um trágico acidente. Muitos a conheciam como a encantadora e animada apresentadora do programa Bom Dia, do Canal 11, mas os que trabalhavam junto a ela a conheciam por seu afiado intelecto. Sentiremos muita falta dela, muita falta mesmo. Tanya Corsi era a apresentadora do Bom Dia, um programa matinal de notícias. Seu fantasma está atualmente assombrando o apartamento vizinho do George Austin.
Joey, could you come out here?
What?
Tanya Corsi? Me dá um autógrafo de fantasma?
Hi there.
Hello again, mister. What brings you by?
Você é Tanya Corsi.
You're Tanya Corsi, aren't you? You're in television.
I knew you'd get it. That's me, Tanya Corsi, host of the Good Morning Show on Channel 11. Now all the mystery is gone.
Grupo da Graça, da Gracinha muito sem graça.
Do you know anything about a self-help organization called the Grace Group?
Grace Group? No, I haven't. Sorry.
You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
Sorry, no.
Michael Cooper.
Do you know a Michael Cooper?
I don't. Sorry.
E Tanya Corsi, você conhece?
So, Tanya, tell me about yourself.
You want to get to know the real Tanya Corsi. The Tanya that you don't read about in the tabloids and magazines?
If you'll let me.
I barely know you, Mr. Malone. Although if you swing by more often, you might learn a thing or two.
Benjiro.
Does the name Benjiro ring any bells?
Benjiro? Is that Japanese?
I believe so.
Sorry, I don't know anyone named Benjiro.
Jeffrey Dutta.
Do you know a guy named Jeffrey Dutta?
Sorry, I don't.
E Peter Fielding.
So, I heard you go to Peter Fielding's gym.
I do. Or rather, I did. After what happened to him, I just couldn't.
You mean his...
Death? Yes. So senseless.
E a sua morte? Heather Goffstein.
Do you know a Heather Goffstein?
No. No, I don't. Sorry.
Come on, that note on the floor, it has Heather written on it.
So, like I told you, it has no meaning to me. I don't know any Heather.
Well, Tanya, I have to get going, but I'll see you around.
Ta.
Sala de imprensa. TV, né?
We're not here to watch that thing. Late 50s? Seems pretty dedicated to his job. Probably eats more greasy food than he should. It's all gobbledygook to me. Just a bunch of desks.
He looks pretty hard at work. Looks like he's got a bunch of news wire reports open. Oh, and Minesweeper. It's pretty empty here tonight. I guess the weather even affects the media. The local news is airing. They're talking about the weather. Again. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Rosangela Blackwell. Do you work here?
Certainly do. Jim Peebles, senior producer. How can I help you?
O que você faz aqui? Eu trabalho aqui, a senhora.
So what do you do here?
I'm the head producer for the Good Morning Show with Kathy Carden.
Isn't that Tanya Corsi's old show?
Yes, it is.
Está muito vazio aqui essa noite. Está todo mundo trabalhando home office.
It's pretty empty here tonight.
Well, look outside. The weather's horrible and almost everybody commutes to work. Nobody can get in, so we're running on a skeleton crew.
Você trabalhava aqui no tempo da Tânia?
Did you work here when Tanya was alive?
Yes, why do you ask?
I'm looking into her death.
Wasn't it an accident?
That's why I'm looking into it, just to be sure.
Huh. Well, all right.
Comprovar as notas. Grupo da Gracinha muito sem graça.
There's the self-help circle that held meetings a long time ago. It was called the Grace Group. Ever hear of it?
Sorry, no.
Cart House.
There are tons of case files listed here. I'm not going to ask about them one by one.
Michael Cooper.
Do you know a priest by the name of Michael Cooper?
I'm afraid I haven't been to church in a long time.
Tanya Corsi.
What can you tell me about Tanya?
I liked her. Some anchors think they're the be-all and end-all, but not her. She knew we were all in this together and worked well with all of us. That's how you make a news show. Everyone needs to help each other.
Benjiro.
Have you ever heard the name Benjiro?
Benjiro? No, I'm afraid I haven't.
Jeffrey Dutta.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Sorry, no.
Peter Fielding.
Do you know anything about the death of Peter Fielding? He owned a gym in Murray Hill.
No, although you've reminded me I haven't hit the gym in a while. I suppose I should go.
Heather Goffstein. Agora falei certo sobrenome. Heather Goffstein.
A note was found in Tanya's apartment. It was signed J.
And?
And your name begins with J. Did you write it?
Seriously?
You're in journalism. You know that any lead is worth following.
Sorry, I didn't write any note to Tanya.
Jim Peebles. Você mesmo. Jim é o produtor do Canal 11. Trabalha no programa que Tanya Corsey apresentava.
Can you tell me about yourself?
Me? Well, what you see is what you get. I started working at a copywriter's desk about 30 years ago. Worked my way up to producer. Been here ever since.
Well, thanks for your time, Mr. Peoples. I might be back later.
Sure thing. I'm not going anywhere.
No point. You can't hear me.
Soprá-lo.
He twitched a bit, but not much else.
Então é isso. Hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.